All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. We're going to title this video, Pretty Soon, the tribes are going to rise up on our enemies. And I'm going to put in parentheses ESAU, because that's the number one enemy. All right. Our number one sworn enemy as Israelites. All right. Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Which make up the southern and the northern kingdom. Your sworn enemy is Esau, Edom, the Caucasian race. All right. So-called white people, which they're not white. All right. That term was placed upon them so that way they could seem more holier and more sacred than everybody else on the planet. Really, the Caucasian race is nothing but some Neanderthal cave people, pedo, bloodthirsty homosexuals. Okay. And the so-called white man and the so-called white woman, because we talk a lot about the white man, right? But the white woman, okay, who do you think his little partner is? All right. The whole entire Caucasian race is responsible for all of the wickedness we see on the planet today. All right. You know, even our people being turned out the way that they are. OK. You know, because right now, 2/3 of our people are completely enchanted and they've been given over to the dark side. Right. And they're fulfilling the interests of Satan. OK. But that's because the so-called white man funneled billions of dollars into, you know, keeping our people asleep and persuading them to go in the direction that's contrary to the Lord. So now our people are just complete degenerates. All right. But it's the so-called white man. All right. That's been pulling the strings behind the scene. But ultimately, I want to talk about how, you know, the tribes are getting ready to rise up against this devil. OK. Because the so-called white man. All right. He's going on a rampage. OK. Murdering the tribes. Right. You in 2025, you had the northern kingdom under attack, and they're still under attack by ICE. Okay. ICE is still snatching up the northern kingdom, kidnapping them. All right. And taking them to black site facilities and doing God knows what to them. Okay. You know, and that's still going on. It's just that, you know, you notice how they don't talk about that in the news anymore, because they want you to forget about that. But that's definitely still going on. ICE is still running around snatching up what they call illegal immigrants, which is the northern kingdom, right? And then you got the southern kingdom, right? They're constantly being hunted down by Edomite nationalists, KKK nationalists in this country. Okay, hence the recent situation with Nolan Wells. Okay, and in the Nolan Wells situation, that happens like every month to our people, man. You know, and yet, you know, we get frustrated at our people for trusting the devil, right, and being clumsy and thinking that the so-called white man is their friend, right? But at the same time, okay, Esau is not having no mercy, all right, on the tribes. Okay, and you know, Jake is saying enough is enough. Okay, and now there's talks of a race war that's more than likely gonna pop off. Okay, and this is the perfect amount of chaos that this world needs for things to go in a certain direction, right? But that race war, okay, is gonna get popped off because Esau won't stop. He won't stop hunting our people down, right? Little girls getting snatched up and lynched on trees, right? These are Edomites doing this, man. Okay, and Esau, he'll lynch Jake, he'll hang Jake on a tree, right? And I'm talking about in today's period, right? He does that as his signature. He wants the world to know that he did it, And Jake is saying, Salakia. Jake is saying enough is enough. As you can see, Jake is starting to say, okay, enough is enough, right? And this is prophecy, okay? That eventually the tribes were going to wake up, all right, and say, you know what? We got to defend ourselves because it's only going to get worse, all right? It's only going to get worse. This devil, I'm talking about the Edomites at the top. They're getting ready to shut this society down, okay? And they're getting ready to frame anybody who's not in agreement with their system as a terrorist. And the first primary suspect is going to be the tribes, okay? So eventually it's going to have to come to a point to where the tribes are going to have to come together, right? And identify who the real enemy is, who the real threat is, okay? Which it should be common knowledge at this point that it's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. But our people they fell asleep. They've been given all sorts of benefits. They've been trying to live the American dream. That's why the scriptures say a gift destroyeth the heart. It perverted the words of the wise, right? Because it makes you blind to judgment. Jake been in America, right, for so long that they forgot the atrocities that the so-called white man has done to them and their people. Okay, but now Esau, okay, he's at the his back is against the wall. Okay, so Esau is getting ready to crash out. All right, because he don't have nothing left. He's not reproducing. Okay, everybody's calling him out. He's a fucking pedo. All right. Nobody fucks with the Edomites. Nobody fucks with Esau like that. If you go just in your personal day-to-day life, okay, you'll notice when you see Edomites, you'll notice, I'm talking about a real Edomite. I'm not talking about a speckled bird. I'm talking about a real Edomite. You'll notice that the Edomites, they have to kind of congregate amongst themselves. They don't really have anybody to hang out with, and you don't see them. You don't see a real pure-blooded Edomite too often, at least out here in California, right? You see nothing but Israelites running around and speckled birds, but real Edomites are almost like they're tucked away somewhere, right? And they keep a small circle, yeah, because like it says in the book of Obadiah, thou art greatly despised. Okay, don't nobody really fuck with you Edomites like that no more. Okay, the jig is up. Everybody knows that Esau, all right, is a maniac devil. Okay, so it's going to have to get to a point to where, all right, the tribes are going to have to come together, all right, because Esau, he's just going to go on a full-on rampage, all right, and the first tribe that's going to have to wake up is Judah, okay, because Judah is the head tribe, man. Let me get this scripture real quick because I don't want to make this long. This is Isaiah 10:20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Okay. And this is ultimately talking about the elect. But, this vibration is going to kind of transfer to everybody. All right. To all Israelites. Okay, that you can't lean anymore upon, Esau, Edom, right? You can't trust the so-called white man anymore, right? That's getting ready to be common common knowledge pretty soon. All right. Because how many more Nolan Wells situations have to happen until Jake wake the fuck up and understand that you have enemies, man. All right. See, Jake want to live in a world where everybody's equal and Jake got this, Christianity has really put our people in a docile mentality where it's like, well, just because the so-called white man is killing us, he's murdering us, we shouldn't pay him back for that. All we should do is just pray for forgiveness, right? That's that docile punk ass Christianity shit that our people taught us. I mean, that Esau taught our people, right? So now Jake don't want to stand up for war. Now Jake don't want to defend themselves. Jake just think that when it comes down to the white man, you're just supposed to allow him to just continue to murder your children, rape your daughters, right? And do all sorts of atrocities to you. Okay? I'm going to read it again. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. And who smote us? Esau, Edom. Okay, we're not staying upon him anymore. We're and one of the ways that, that's evident that we're not staying upon him, meaning that we're not leaning on him for assistance. We're not leaning on him for direction anymore. Is, he's being exposed. All right. Him being exposed by Israelites too. Okay, Israelites are out here exposing him is a clear indicator that. Jake is waking up to who Esau is, man. Okay. We're not believing that bullshit anymore. Okay. Especially with that Epstein shit that came out. Right. And I've heard some people on the internet break down what they was really doing on that island with that Epstein shit. And it's deeper than, they were just doing human trafficking. No, it's deeper than that, man. That nigga was trying to create like his own race of people. He was trying to, he was doing some, them devils was cooking up some sinister shit, trying to figure out a way to remove masculinity from all men on the earth. Some insane shit, some laboratory, supervillain madness Esau was on, man. Okay, and all of that is coming out, and Jake is waking up to who the real devil is, man. The reason for all your problems, especially when Esau keeps on murdering our people. Okay. And then they'll murder Jake and then they go to court and then they don't even get charged. The nigga just walk off with a slap on the wrist. 2 months probation. How many times has that happened? Okay. It says, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth. Okay. Because that's the one that's our savior. All right. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is our savior, man. All right. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to work a spirit within the tribes, okay, to rise up. All right. Let me get this real quick. This is Genesis 49:9. Okay. Because remember I said it starts with the head tribe, Judah, which is the African Americans. All right. The Negroes. You are the head tribe, man. Okay. You're not black. You're not a fucking African. I only said African American because that's what you identify as, but really you're from the tribe of Judah. Okay. But you're not black. You're not all of them bywords that the devil has placed upon you. Okay. And once Judah rises up, all of the other tribes are going to follow, man. Okay. All of the other tribes are going to follow because everybody follows Judah subconsciously anyways. The Northern Kingdom, the Latinos, the Native Americans. All right. They all follow Judah. Judah sets the standard for everything, man. Basketball, boxing, music. Judah has set the standard for everything, man. Okay? So you best believe when Judah says that's enough and Judah takes it to the streets and says, I'm tired of these goddamn white folks killing our kids, killing our young sons, right? Putting our kids in prison for bullshit reasons. Just being unfair. When Judah says that's enough and takes it to the streets, okay, and starts hunting down you fucking dirty Caucasians that think you have the upper hand on our people, guess what? The rest of the tribes is going to follow, okay? And you Edomites, Okay. And I'm talking about ultimately you regular, you local Caucasians. Okay. Right. You're going to be in some serious trouble because our people are stronger than you. We're smarter than you. We're better than your faggot bitch ass. Okay. You know, this is why you Edomites have to do a lot of the things you do in secret. You got to attack our people from the darkness. Right. You got to slip something in Jake's drink to get him fucked up and then murder him. You can't take you Caucasians can't take our people. You can't take us on in a one-on-one. You can't, because you know you weak. The scriptures say you are small among the heathen, man. You're the weakest heathen on the planet, man. Everybody could slap the Edomite around. You're a complete chump. Okay? And when our people say that's enough, all right, you Edomites that think that when the race war pops off, oh yeah, we gonna hunt down the niggers like how we did in the 1800s. You gonna have a rude awakening, man, because this ain't the 1800s, nigga. All right. This is Genesis 49:9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion and as an old lion. Yeah, because the southern kingdom, primarily Judah, has been laying dormant. All right. Judah been chilling because Judah has been nourished over here in Babylon, man, has been nourished with the benefits of America, man. Right. And if any of you out there, you know how Judah is. If you grew up around Judites, you know that's kind of like Judah's spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Real laid back, right? Real patient, right? Just like a lion. That's why, the tribe of Judah is similar to a lion, because Judah kind of has the same characteristics of a lion. Very, when you see the male lion, right? The male lion, what is he doing all day? He's laying down all day, hanging out all day. The female lions is the ones that's running around hunting, getting, putting themselves in constant danger, trying to get food, right? But the male lion, all he want to do is just chill, find some shade and relax. And when it's time for him to get up and inflict damage, oh, he gonna do it, and he gonna do it to the highest degree. Okay, but for the most part, okay, Judah just be trying to chill. But the problem is with Judah chilling is Judah has been so relaxed that our enemies have gotten the upper hand. Okay, right? And you got a lot of coons of our nation that are Judites that are so relaxed that they look at it like, well, I mean, ain't no point to go against the white man. As long as I'm getting this money and I'm taking care of my family, that ain't got nothing to do with me, right? But pretty soon it's going to get to a point to where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to make it to where you ain't going to have no choice but to defend yourself from the so-called white man, right? Because you wait till the economy crash, you wait till there's no more food in the stores, right? Guess what? Esau is going to get together. All right, these Edomites are going to get together, all right, and they're going to lose it. They're going to flip, okay? And Esau is going to take out his anger on the tribes because he already hate us, okay? So at that point, the blacks and the browns is going to have to unite, man, okay? And Judah is going to take the lead. The Negroes is going to take the lead, okay? It says, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Now, let's get that word rouse, okay? Let's see what that word means, man. All right, because it talks about him being roused up. All right, and Judah is being roused up. Okay, the more and more these type of little situations happen with the Nolan Wells and all this shit. All right, the more and more Judah is going to start saying that's enough, and the rest of the tribes is going to say that's enough. Okay, this is the definition in the blue letter for rouse up. It says to rise, arise, stand, rise up, stand up. To arise, become powerful. And you Caucasians, you can't fuck with Judah, man. You can't fuck with the so-called black man. Okay? Look at them niggas in the NBA, man. Which they some sellouts, but look at them niggas in the NBA. Look at the athletes, right, that are so-called black men in America, man. Them motherfuckers are walking phenomenons, man. Nigga in the NBA, 7 feet tall, man. Okay? Just one Judite in the NBA could probably take on about 10 to 15 Edomites by himself, man. Okay? You know? And you know how in Judah, and when Judah gets to that point to where, you know, all bets are off, you know, it ain't gonna be no stopping them. All right. So a lot of you Caucasians out there, you Edomites that think that, okay, this race war that's getting ready to happen, right? You think that you're gonna get the upper hand because our people are stupid and they're in a degenerate state right now. Well, look, this is the time where you Edomites, this is the time where you go down. This is not the time for your what could I say, your reinvention. This is the time where you get humiliated, all right? And you get embarrassed in front of the world, man. Okay? So I just wanted to make this lesson real quick, all right, just to talk about this, okay? Because, you know, hey, things are happening in the earth, man, right? Where it's going to be one people against another people, man. Okay? And the final showdown is getting ready to happen between Jacob and Esau, man. All right? And Jacob is already prophesied to get the victory, man. Okay? Ultimately, the elect. Because even though our people are going to rise up against the so-called white man and rise up against their enemies finally, which is what we've been waiting on with these niggas, right? Even them, they're not going to get the 100% victory. It's going to be the elect, Yahushai, that's going to get the 100% victory. Okay? Because the Lord is going to give the elect spiritual power. All right? And we're going to use that spiritual power to hunt down you Caucasians, man. We're going to get that spiritual power to hunt down you Edomites, man. All right? And you really going to be finished. Okay? And we ain't going to have no mercy on you because you didn't have no mercy on us. You see? So the time is coming. The time is coming. And just remember that this is the end of Esau, man. This ain't when Esau comes up. This ain't Esau's path to glory. This is Esau's doom. So anything that happens to Esau at this point is going to reverse on his bitch ass, man. All right? And when the tribes finally rise up against him and unite and rise up against his bitch ass, okay, he's going to be in shambles, man. Okay? He's going to be in shambles. Okay? Because you Edomites, you're like I said, you need secrecy to attack our people. You need to do shit in the dark. But in an all-out war, in a mano-a-mano fight, you can't fuck with us. And you know it. You know it. You can't fuck with us, man. You Edomite women, you can't fuck with the black woman. The Israelite woman. You see that online, man. I've seen countless videos online, man, where, you know, not, and it's been happening more recently, too, because it's the spirit of the Lord, where you're starting to see Edomite men and women just get knocked the fuck out by Jake, man. In the grocery store, Jake just knock them out right there in the aisle 3. The Edomite woman is getting dragged by her hair by the Israelite woman, and she beating the shit out of her, man. You see, the tide is turning for you fucking devils, man. Okay? The tide is turning, man. All right, this ain't your victory, man. Jacob is gonna be the victorious one through Yahushai, man. Okay, primarily the elect, man. All right. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up and give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai once again. Shalom, shalom.